Shalom, call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopefully elect. And I want to get into the topic about confusion of faith, because there's going to be a lot of Israelites coming into this truth looking like all the other nations, because Israel was scattered around the four corners of the earth. So they're going to come in looking like the different nations that they were scattered to, because a lot of our people, they had sex with these different women of the other nations. So they would take on some of the characteristics of those women. But we can't judge those Israelites that's coming in by the way they look. We have to try that spirit. And 2 Corinthians 10:7. Get that. All right, 2 Corinthians 10:7. Do ye look on things after the outward appearance? Okay, so you can't look on things on the outward appearance, because you'll be not letting some Israelites come in because of the way they look, because all Israelites not gonna look like Wesley Snipes. All Israel not gonna be of a dark skin color, because some Israelites gonna come into this thing looking like the other nations, gonna be coming in looking like the so-called white man. And you can't turn that Israelite away if he going into this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and he growing in his truth. Then you gotta let him in. You gotta not shun him away, because these Israelite camps that don't come up under the banner of Great Millstone, most of them won't let you in if you don't look like Wesley Snipes, and that's off. Because the Lord said his flock is like a speckled bird, roughly paraphrasing, but I'm gonna get that later on in the lesson. So you can't go in and shun away an Israelite just because of the way they look. Just like it's saying in 2 Corinthians 10:7, do ye look on the things after the outward appearance? And that's the thing, you cannot judge them by the way they look. You got to go about the spirit that's inside that man. Let me get that in Romans 8:16. Because Israel gonna be looking like all the different nations that they were scattered to. And we got to know that, when you're in this truth, you got to have the spirit of discernment. You got to be able to discern who's an Israelite and who's of the other nations. Romans 8:16, the spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High Power. So the spirit gonna bear witness. Because you're gonna be able to see how this man carry himself. You're gonna be able to see how he evolving in his truth. Because just because a Jake looked like a Israelite, he might be a tear. Because that's what the Lord say, let the wheat and the tare grow together, and he'll separate them. So you got to have discernment in this thing, because you might be turning away a member of the hopeful elect. Because when you look at Michael Jackson kids, you might think that they so-called white people. But the whole fact of the matter is their father was an Israelite. Their father was an Israelite. And you can see that they look just like their father. They just got a different complexion. They just don't have that much pigment in their skin. But that's going to be the thing, because Jake has sex with these different nations. So their kids are going to come out looking like all the different nations that they were scattered to. So you got to have discernment to know that, these are Israelites. Even with Blake Griffin, look at his kid. His kid got blonde hair and blue eyes. You know, blonde hair and blue eyes. And if you don't have understanding to know that he an Israelite, then you would think that his child was a so-called white man. But he is of the seed of Israel. Blake Griffin and his son is of the seed of Israel. You know? But a lot of Jakes, they go by the outward appearance. And we can't do that in this thing of ours. You know? But you look at Blake Griffin's father, you know, he looked like a straight up Jake. His mother's white, but Blake Griffin looks like he's almost can go for a so-called white man. But his father looked like a Jake, looked like a Wesley Snipes looking Jake. You know, so you got to have discernment in this thing of ours. All right. Get Daniel's 9:7. Daniel's 9:7. You know. All right. Daniel's 9:7. O Lord, righteousness belongs unto thee, but unto us confusion of face, as at this day to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries wherein thou hast driven them, because of their trespass, that they have trespassed against thee. And see, the Lord let you know that, since they got scattered abroad, they started having sex with these different nations. So now they have confusion of face because they look like the other nations. They don't look like dark skinned people. Because Judah was dark skinned, in Jeremiah 14:2, Judah is blackened to the ground. But now they started looking like these different nations. And then if you have a child like Blake Griffin, you have a child like Blake Griffin's, his son, and he have sex with a white woman, his kid's gonna come out looking more like the so-called white man. And then you can't tell what the spirit is. I mean, you can't tell what that Jake is. You got to go by the spirit. Salakia. You got to go by the spirit. Because through the process of time of them keep on diluting they color down, you can't tell if he's a Jake or not. Only way you can tell is by the spirit. That's why you have to try the spirit out, like we said previously. Because Jake gonna come out looking like these other different nations. Same thing with Michael Jackson kids, man. You know, same thing with Michael Jackson kids. They look like so-called white people. But we know that Michael Jackson was a Jake, man. Michael Jackson was a Jake. His whole family looked like the so-called black men. You know, because we go back to the previous when he was a kid, you see he was straight up Jake, Afro. You know, but through the process of time, him having sex with these different nations, his kids, they're gonna start looking whiter, looking like so-called white people. You know, they're gonna have lesser pigment in their skin. You know, and that's why you can't go by the outward appearance. You got to go by the spirit. Let's see. I'm getting Hosea 7 and 8. Hosea 7 and 8. All right. Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. You see? So Ephraim is a cake not turned. And you know, like Apostle said before, when you take a pancake and you cook it on one side and you flip it over too fast before it get cooked good on the other side, it's gonna look like a light brown color, a real light brown color, but the other side gonna be brown. You know, and that's how Ephraim is. You got some Ephraimites that's light skinned, then you got some dark Ephraimites. You know, some Puerto Ricans gonna be real dark, and then you're gonna have some that's real we call it light skin. You know? So if you don't know how to discern the spirit, then you'll be lost, man. You'll be sending everybody out of camp. And you might be sending out one of the elect, man. And then you're gonna be judged for that. Because the thing about Jake is, you know, Jake when he first hear the truth, he gonna buck up against it, you know. And if he look like a so-called white man and he bucking up against the truth, you gonna think he an Edomite, and then you'll be getting rid of one of the hopefully elect, man. Then that's gonna be on you. All right, Jeremiah 12 and 9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The bird round about are against her, you know. And that's what the Lord let you know. You know, his heritage is unto him like a speckled bird, you know? And that means that they come in all different colors. You know, so the Jakes, since they being scattered, they gonna come looking like all these other different nations. So you can't just go in and say that just because of the way they look that they not an Israelite. You know? You got some people saying that the Mexicans are not Israelites. That's not true, man. Mexican is the tribe of Issachar. You know, those are our brothers, man. Out the tribe of Issachar. You know, Native Americans, Gad, Reuben. But you know, most people, they don't have that understanding to go be able to go into it and have that spiritual discernment, that you know, that spiritual eye to be able to see, man. Because you got to have that eyesight, man. You got to be able to see. You know, you got to have that vision. And a lot of you is not open up for you. A lot of you is not going to get this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. A lot of you, you know what I'm saying? You just going to go on thinking that all Israelites supposed to look like Wesley Snipes or Shaft. But you got to be spiritual, man. This thing is a spiritual thing, man. It's not about what you see carnally, man. You know? But with that being said, I hope this was edifying. Till next time I say shalom.